With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
And just like that, welcome back, race fans, here to Turn 3 Racing Network. As always, I am Darkside Dave in the cave here in the Turn 3 Racing Network booth, bringing you all the great racing action from the trackside here tonight for the WallBangers Racing Truck Series. That's right, good old Saturday night Truck Series action for you week in and week out here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Race number 1 here in this season for WallBangers Racing Truck Series. They're going to hit the track here tonight for 100 laps around this historic, famed super speedway here at Daytona International Speedway right now. Happy hour starting to come to a close, about 2.5 minutes remaining here in happy hour as Alexander, oh my goodness, I'm going to chop this one all up. Alexander Ikornako out there right now, top of the speed charts. Quick time sitting at a 49.01. Just behind him, Chad Claude right there with a 49.02. I do believe most of these speed times are with a draft, so we'll have to wait to see how these things shake out to single truck speed here in qualifying. Just moments away, about 2 minutes remaining before we head off into qualifying. So with all that being said, how you doing? How you feeling, race fans? Sorry about the voice if it's a little bit hoarse. Been out at a wrestling tournament all day. And those that know me, well, you know there's two things in my life that I absolutely love more than anything else, and that is racing and wrestling. And a good day of wrestling out there for all the girls at Relentless Wrestling Club here out of Hendersonville, North Carolina. So a big shout out to all of them for all the hard work that they've been putting in. And a great showing out there tonight at the Fall Brawl at the Zoo. So big shout out to each and every one of you ladies. You did a wonderful job, and I'll see you at practice. Well, with all that being said, looks like we've got a new driver sitting at the top of the speed charts. Justin Hendry, sorry about that. Goes to the top of the speed charts, actually down to the, that's about down to the 1,000th before he edged out Alexander Encarnago. And just patiently waiting right now as some of these drivers make a few final laps around the track. Less than 30 seconds remain here in happy hour before we will switch things over for your 10-minute qualifying session here tonight at Daytona International Speedway to set the field who's got what it takes to put it at the top of the speed charts. And then you got to keep in mind here, stage racing here tonight at Daytona International Speedway. First stage coming to an end at lap number 20. The second stage coming to an end at the end of lap number 40. Then it will be a longer third and final stint for these WallBanger Racing Truck Series drivers to try to see who can walk away sitting nice here in the season. Who's going to start off with the bang and who's going to go ahead and put themselves put themselves into a good position, already locking themselves into the chase. So we'll have to see how all that shakes out here in the next few, I'd say about next hour and a half. See who can shake these machines down and put it at the top of the speed charts. Looks like we do have a few drivers jumping out there on track now. We'll jump out there now with the 22 of Randy Cornwell as he's on his up-to-speed laps here around Daytona International Super Speedway. There you see him down there on the apron. Multiple other drivers also out there. Justin Hendry, Ryan Azell, Jerry Hutcherson, Randy Cornwell, who we are watching on screen right now, the 57 of Zach of Zach Sandlin, Brandon Regal, Jeff Carson, Scott Taylor, Stephen Beckley, as well as Stephen Baldwin Jr., all out there on their time laps right now. Jordan Westall now joining the track as well. Steve Corporal right there on track trying to put down some time as well. Coming off of turn number 4, back through the tri-oval for the first time. Let's see where Randy Cornwell can go on his first time lap. And that's actually just the up-to-speed lap, I do believe, for Cornwell, as no time going on the speed charts. Actually, no time for anybody going on the speed charts just yet. Zach Wilson also out there in his Ford F-150. Almost said Ford Mustang. Been so caught up on the cars lately that I forget that sometimes, people love these trucks. Big following on the iRacing.com platform, the world's #1 racing simulator. And these Truck Series drivers, they're going to lay it all out there, and I promise you, they will leave nothing on the table throughout the 100 laps scheduled here tonight in the official race distance. Coming across the line this time by, let's see where Cornwell will shake down. And all the way up to second for Cornwell, and we're going to get multiple drivers with some time lapse now. I do apologize. As I said, been screaming and yelling all day long, so the voice is a little bit rough right now and a little bit off, but I do apologize about that. We'll try to do the best we can with what we got. You know what I mean? I only got one voice. Justin Hendry sitting right there, top of the speed charts right now. Jerry Culver right there in second. Steve Corporal right there in third. Randy Cornwell slotted in fourth right now. Second time lap through 3 and 4. Let's see if he can keep the speed and carry in a momentum and increase that time lap, or I should say decrease it and increase where he slotted in on the scoring pylon right now. Going to come through the tri-oval, cutting it down by the apron, double yellow line, crossing the stripe that time by. Cornwell's good enough to go up to 7th. Now, I tell you what, let's jump back here with Chad Bessinger, as Bessinger's on his time lapse out of 4AB Motorsports. This is the first time lap for the 23 truck as he's up there hugging that high side. That's something that you'll see time and time again on the super speedways. These drivers keep it wound up all the way at the top, and as the 23 crosses the line, going to drop down to that double yellow line. Now you'll see him hug his best friend right there all the way around this track. Alexander Encarnago right there going top of the speed charts. Quick time, 51.71. That is almost 2/10 faster than Robert Nestor's right there in second. Bob Williams in third. Fourth place to Zach Wilson. Fifth to Justin Hendry. It's not all settled. It's not all shaken out just yet. 19 drivers with... Golly, jeez. Sorry, I apologize. 19 now make it 20 drivers with a time lap. 21 now on the board. Brandon Regal right now slowest on the track, just kind of hanging out, running about 50, 60 miles an hour, just hanging out, putting down his qualifying time. All the way up to second for Bessinger. Big jump, big move there. Heck of a job by him. Jump out here now. I tell you what, let's take a look at this 99 machine of Austin Encarnago as he's on his way around the track. Let's see if he can't go up there and join I'm gonna say his brother at the front of the field. Not quite sure if it's the brother, cousin, or something like that, but not very often would you see that last name. So I'm gonna assume these two are at least somehow related. Garrett Davis also out on track beginning his time lap. Stephen Baldwin Jr. going to slot in 16th with his time lap. 22 drivers turning in a time lap so far, halfway through tonight's qualifying session. Then we'll get things set to kick off for tonight's Daytona 100, race number 1 in the season for the WallBangers Racing Truck Series. Austin going to cross the line that time by. Where's he going to go? All the way to second. My goodness, what a first time lap. And actually that may have been his second time lap, maybe just bringing it around and shutting it back down, but he seems to be still full throttle right now down the backstretch. And oh my goodness, we may see Austin dethrone Alexander here. Daniel Holdcroft on track, finishing his second time lap, 14th position for him. Garrett Davis also out there. He's finishing his second time lap. Gonna slot in 22nd on the scoring charts. Let's see where that 99 goes this time by. Gonna cross the stripe. Kitty improve the time. Crossing the line that time by. Gonna shut it down. Improving, but not good enough to dethrone Alexander. So it looks like nobody going to be able to do that at this point in time. 6.5 minutes into the 10-minute qualifying session. Only about 3.5 minutes remaining, and we've only got 3 drivers left to put in their qualifying time. Looks like Craig Burns going to jump out there on track for his time lapse. So I tell you what, why don't we go out there, see how it's going for the driver of that 2 truck. He's just now getting out and up to speed on the track, so this is going to put us very close to the breakaway point to head down trackside for the national anthem, but we'll ride right here as Chad tries to dethrone those Encarnago brothers up at the top of the scoring charts. Sitting first and second right now, Austin and Alexander. Alexander has the pole, 51.72, 51.79 for Austin. Only just 600ths. I apologize. Very, very tight, close battle coming across the stripe to begin his first time lap. Now is Chad Burns, 2 machine, trying to work that Ford F-150 on the high line. We'll have to wait and see where he shakes out with his first time lap, now making his way off of turn number 2. Halfway down the backstretch on his first time lap, Craig Burns trying to make some time up in that Menards Ford F-150. Can he get it wound up? And where will he go once he crosses the line? Not a lot of time left. It's going to be very close for him to even get that second time lap in. We'll have to wait and see how all that shakes out. The driver making his way off of 4 back through the tri-oval. Gonna cross the line that time by. Let's see where he goes. First time lap. Good enough for 21st on the speed charts right now. And with just about 1 minute left in qualifying, we're going to stick with it right here. Then head down trackside for your national anthem, so don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back with all your green flag action here in just a few moments from Daytona International Speedway in the WallBangers Racing Truck Series here on Turn 3 Racing Network. Off of turn 4, coming to the stripe. Where's that 2 truck gonna slide in when it's all said and done? Improving, but not going too far on the speed charts. Good enough for 15th right there for the 2 machine of Craig Burns. Looking around the track, nobody else out there on track to put in a qualifying time. So it looks like Alexander Incarnago going to walk away with the pole position here tonight for the Daytona 100 in the WallBanger Racing Truck Series. We're going to head down trackside for our national anthem. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rackets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Welcome back, trackside race fans. We're ready to kick things off here tonight in the WallBangers Racing Truck Series Daytona 100. Your starting grid for tonight's race looks a little something like this. Walking away with the pole position, the 94 of Alexander Incarnago right there just outside of him. The 99 of Austin Incarnago. Row number 2, Chad Bissinger in the 8 of Robert Nestor. Row number 3, Brian Fine and Bob Williams. Row number 4, the 38 of Zach Wilson, followed by the 28 of Justin Hendry. Row number 5, the 13 of Jerry Culver, followed by the 11 of Chris Cole. Starting inside row number 6, the 22 of Randy Cornwell. Steve Corporal will line up just to his outside. Inside row number 7, the 9 of Jeff Carson, followed by the 26 of Daniel Holdcroft. Row number 8, Craig Burns and Trevor Massetti. Row number 9 here tonight, the 57 of Zach Sandlin and the 59 of Stephen Baldwin Jr. Row number 10 here tonight, the 7 of Jordan Westfall. And rounding out your top 20, the 80 of Stephen Beckley. Starting in the 21st spot here tonight, the 5 of Ryan Ezel, followed by the 12 of Jerry Hutchinson. 23rd, Garrett Davis. Scott Taylor in the 51 machine gonna slot in. 24th. 25th will go to the 36 of Brandon Regal. Race control sitting right there up in the tower, watching over everything. Michael Sheffield will round out the field for tonight's race, and we are ready to go. Green flag racing once again here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Field makes its way slowly off of turn number 4 for the first time here tonight. Chevy Silverado pace truck gonna duck off. We are ready to go back racing here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, and green flag flies here at Daytona International Speedway to start the WallBanger Racing's Truck Series Daytona 100. Side by side the front of the field, the top 4 trucks well and clear of that outside lane. Outside lane not getting going off the start. Second truck back after Austin Encarnago did not get a good restart. Austin gonna slot in just behind that 94 machine of Alexander, and Alexander looks to lead the first lap here halfway down the backstretch back into turn 3. Already a long train of trucks single file down there hugging that double yellow line. Already outside lane falling apart and deteriorating, falling back as well. Now drivers beginning to jump down to the bottom with any and every gap that they can. Top 3 still nose to tail back across the stripe, and that's going to put another lap lead into the pocket of that 94 truck. Alexander Encarnago leads the field right now, has Austin just behind him. Chad Bessinger right there, the 23 sitting in third. Fourth, Brian Fine. Zach Wilson sitting right there in 5th right now. But things are going to change. Things are going to shake up here. Not just if we get a big one, but keep in mind, as I already alluded to in the pre-race stages here tonight, stage number 1 coming to an end at the completion of lap number 20. Stage number 2 coming to a close at the end of lap number 40. Then a 60-lap run to find out who's going to go ahead and put themselves in a good position for the chase later on this season. That's a long way down the road. Looks like we do have one driver with a little bit of tech issues out there. Looks like one driver blinking just a little bit. That's going to get itself worked out. He's going to move on back through the field. Kind and courteous gesture there. Meanwhile, back at the front, nothing really happening up here. Looks like everybody pretty much just content to run nose to tail right now, but the 99, he's got to be careful. Austin's been on that rear bumper of Alexander pretty much this entire run so far, and I know you're saying, well, Dave, it's only 3 laps. But 3 laps at 200 miles an hour, tucked up right behind another truck, that can play some havoc on the air and oil temperature. Now you see Austin trying to duck out, get a little air to the front end of that Chevy Silverado. Back down the backstretch one more time. Alexander still leads the field. Austin right on his tail. Chad Bessinger right there in third. Fourth, Brian Fine. Zach Wilson still rounds out your top 5. So a lot of these drivers just looks like they're pretty content to just kind of run where they are right now. Got one driver trying to fight down to the bottom. Looks like still not going to be able to, as we're starting to see some separation occur here between a few of these drivers. The entire field still kind of packed up with each other, but we do have 2 smaller packs developing back through the field right around 17th. There you can see them right there. Those 3-4 drivers kind of packed up with each other. Then you got to go back just a little bit further right here, 21st, all the way back through 26th. All kind of packed up with each other right here. Do apologize, all the way back to 25th. Sorry about that. So the 5 of Ryan Ezel and that Nationwide insurance truck. I'm not sure that's how you is it Nationwide Insurance or just Nationwide? The Nationwide National Guard number 5. There you go. How about that? We'll just use that one. The nationwide number 5, piloted by Ryan Ezel, sitting right there in the 20th position. He's going to look to try to close the gap. He's sitting about 1.5 seconds off of the tail end of the 3 of Trevor Massetti. Massetti sitting right now in 19th. Meanwhile, back at the front of the field, not a whole lot going on still. Nose to tail right now, very early, just kind of logging some laps, getting the feel for the truck, and now we see 4 trucks packed up on the outside, and they will begin to gain a ton of ground. Got drivers bailing from the bottom, trying to make it to the top now. Here we go, here we come. Oh, and up into the wall. Oh, the 24 almost gets clipped and into the wall. Oh, my goodness. That could have been pretty bad, as it looks like the 13 falling through the field after scraping the wall. Now, that took a ton of momentum away from him, and he dropped like a rock. Dropped about 6 positions right there just after that took place. So these drivers, they got to be careful not to make any mistakes, as sparks still flying up near the front of the field. These drivers getting very close to that fence in that outside lane, and now looks like Austin trying to be a little bit more aggressive, getting some fresh air on the front end of that Chevy Silverado. You got to be careful, man. These things, when they pop in a hurry, and an engine letting go in front of a field is never a good thing. All of the drivers still nose to tail, being led around this track by Alexander Carnago. He has led the entire race so far, quickest in qualifying. Your pole sitter has not looked back ever since the drop of the green flag. We are still green flag racing. No caution so far here, creeping in on halfway through the first stage here in the WallBangers Racing Truck Series. And I mean, 250 miles, that's a long first race for these drivers to kind of feel each other out and maybe try to gauge some tendencies of a few drivers and just, I mean, look for the future here. Because these truck drivers going to visit Talladega Superspeedway later on in the season. And this is a kind of a good feeling out process right now for a lot of these truck drivers. They get to kind of set up who they're going to run with a little bit later on in tonight's race. And now look at this, 2, almost 3 wide for a brief moment. The 2 of Craig Burns, he looked to go to the center. Thought better of it. He's going to stay right there, third car, outside lane. Those 4 cars, they've been trying. They made up some ground, but then it has stalled out, and they have left the momentum behind. Now more drivers trying to jump up to that outside, try to get that lane. Oh, and big time loose. Oh, no. Right in front of the field. Oh, my gosh, we got trucks flipping. Trucks flipping. Cornwell over the 14 has trouble as well. Oh, my goodness. Jeff Carson, he's been involved in this one. The 9, look at him smoking right there. Jerry Culver also involved in this one. We'll take a look back with our Turn 3 replay, see if we can't see what exactly took place. There you see the 14. Oh, my goodness. Hard impact. Bob Williams, man, I tell you, that was some hard impact. He went flipping. My goodness. Let's see if we can't get an onboard camera here. I do believe we do have an onboard camera with Bob Williams. So I tell you what, let's go to that here for this replay. Oh my good. Oh my. The gyro cam does not know what's going on all over the place, man. I tell you what, that was, whew. We'll take one more look at it here from inside the car, and up and over, and that is never a good sight as a race car driver. When you see the asphalt where the cloud should be, it's never a good feeling. So under pace laps, under caution here once again at Daytona International Super Speedway. I say once again, but first caution here so far tonight for the WallBangers Racing Truck Series Daytona 100. Say under caution again here. I mean, we technically start under caution. Pit road, a lonely place right now. Looks like Jordan Westfall, Ryan Ezel, Garrett Davis, Scott Taylor, Daniel Holdcroft, as well as Jerry Culver, Brandon Regal, also on the pit road. Jeff Carson on the pit road after being caught up in that latest incident. And that's going to put a few drivers behind the 8-ball. As Bob Williams, Jeff Carver, both of those drivers sitting on pit road for a long time. They have got a lot of repairs to do to their machines. The 28 of Justin Hendry, he's had some issues, been down to pit road and back off already, trying to catch back up to the lead, back up to the leaders. Lap number 12 out of the 100 scheduled here tonight in the official race distance. We have had the first big one, and it was at the front and caught up a good 5 or 6 drivers. Looks like 5 drivers going to be caught up in the first incident that we had here tonight. And when it happens at the front of the field, it can take out a lot more than just 5 or 6. So big hats off to all the drivers getting it woed up and avoiding the carnage and chaos going down in front of them. You know, I'm not quite sure on the fuel mileage so far here tonight, and with this caution, this may allow a lot of these truck drivers to go ahead and make it to the end of stage number 1 without coming to pit lane for fuel. The driver's going to be able to save and conserve a ton of gas under caution here. And it looks like, going to look through the timing and scoring, and it looks like your top 13 drivers all staying out on track. Garrett Davis being the first driver on and off of pit road. He'll line up in the 14th spot. The 5 of Ryan Ezel right there with him. Jordan Westfall going to line up in 16th, 17th, Scott Taylor. No changes at the front of the field as your front row looks just like it did at the start of the race. Alexander Incarnago right there on the inside. Austin just to his outside. The field begins to get double file as the Chevy Silverado pace truck makes its way off of turn number 2. We'll get set to go back. Green flag racing here in about another 30, 45 seconds or so. And man, oh man, I tell you what, the laps have been clicking off pretty quickly here, already on lap number 13, 14. Lap number 14 when we cross the line this time by. And will we see that immediate drop down once again by that 99 of Austin Incarnago? As soon as he's able to clear, will he go ahead and drop down, or will he try to keep that outside lane alive and try to steal a stage win? 1 point going to the stage winner in each of the stages here in the WallBangers Racing Truck Series. So very valuable points at hand that could come in very handy by the end of the season if you have to find your way, if you happen to find yourself in a very, very close points battlefield. Double file. We're set to go. Green flag flies once again here at Daytona International Super Speedway. Drivers dropping to the bottom. Second and fourth dropping immediately down there. So your front 4 already well and clear. No. Now Austin, he's got a moment to take the lead, and looks like that almost right in front of Chad Bessinger. The room really wasn't there, but Alexander bullied his way to the bottom. Now sitting in that second spot, and I think that was a calculated move here, just to maybe get Austin a lap led to go ahead and give him one of those very coveted bonus points. Coming across the stripe, big push on the back of that 99 machine, the 94 all over him. That's going to give him his lap lead, get him the point in his back pocket that he is wanting. And it's interesting to see these drivers already thinking so much about those valuable bonus points here. This is only race number 1, and already drivers thinking long term, long season ahead of us. Got to get every point that I possibly can as the 94 continues to push hard on the back of that 99 machine. And I tell you what, I think we do have an onboard camera down there with the driver running in the 3rd spot right now, Chad Bessinger, and it looks like we do. So I tell you what, let's go around the track here one lap with the driver running in 3rd, Chad Bessinger. Hands looking nice and smooth, nice and steady through the corner. No real pulls going down the backstretch. You can see Alexander kind of offsetting his 94 machine just a little bit on that 99, trying to keep a little bit of air on the front nose, trying to keep it cool, making their way through the corner. Nobody really challenging for any of the positions at the front of the field right now. Everybody just kind of hanging out right where they are. As we cross the line, lap number 17 underway out of the 100 scheduled in the official race distance here tonight, and we are closing right on in on the end of stage number 1. Which Encarnago is it going to be, or will we have somebody come from a little bit further behind and take that stage 1 win? We'll have to wait and see how it all shakes out. The 23, 98, 38 in the 8. All right there in the mix for this stage win. And Alexander, he's got to be careful popping out like that. Still a long way to go before the end of stage number 1. 3 times left to go around this 2.5-mile racetrack as we cross the line this time by 3 laps remaining here in stage number 1. Your top 6 truck drivers have all broken away from the field. They have about a 0.7 of a second race lead over Stephen Baldwin, Steve Corporal, and Trevor Massetti right there as well. Garrett Davis breaking into the top 10 right now, up 13 positions from where he started tonight's race. So big shout out and thumbs up there to that 24 Ford F-150, man. He is on the move right now, looking for a few more spots. 2 laps remaining here in stage number 1 as the field makes their way through 1 and 2 back to the backstretch. Slowly but surely, these other 2 packs have begun to run down your race leaders. Looks like Daniel Holbrook may be in danger of going down a lap, and looks like Holbrook gonna fall victim, so he will be shown as the last car on the lead lap. And if you're going to go a lap down, that's about when you want to do it. I don't want to say you want to time it, because you never want to go a lap down, but if you could time it, that's when you would want it to be coming to the conclusion of a stage, so you are assured a lucky dog, possibly the wave around. Well, the lucky dog is a wave around, or never mind, you know what I mean. Put yourself in a good position to be the driver to receive that lucky dog, and if not, maybe everybody pits and you can just stay out on track and get a wave around, maybe pit by yourself, catch an early caution. You never know what could happen here at a super speedway track like Daytona International Speedway. Back into turn number 3 and 4, and I'm surprised to see Alexander very content just to push Austin here to the end of stage number 1. We'll see how it all shakes out here. The run off of 4 begins. Alexander stays tucked in, and it looks like that will do it for stage number 1. Caution, gonna come out. Your stage winner, the 99 of Austin Encarnago. As all these trucks trying to bring it to as slow as best as they can. Nobody really getting into each other. Fanning out, bringing it to a slow back off of turn number 2 down the backstretch. We'll wait and catch up with the Chevy Silverado pace truck. So big time moment here very early in the season for this man right here on screen. Coming right at you, your stage 1 winner, the 99 of Austin Encarnago. And well, just like that, race fans, we're going to step away for a brief commercial break, pay a few bills, don't go anywhere. We'll be back with all your green flag action live here from Daytona International Super Speedway. You're watching the Daytona 100, the WallBanger Racing Truck Series.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
We got big time problems with that motor, buddy. Hey, just between you and me, the idea is to avoid the other cars. Congratulations! You just set the sport back 30 years with that move. That move will put you in the Hall of Shame. You keep doing stuff like that and we're going to lose our sponsor. Looks like that's it for us today. Now I know why you got canned by your old team. It's over. We can't fix that damage. Your car is toast. You'll need to tow back to pit lane, press and hold your reset button, and we'll come and get you.
And back as promised, no green flag action missed here tonight from Daytona International Super Speedway Field, making their way off of turn number 4. Gonna get the one to go this time by, so you know what that means. Chevy Silverado pace truck lights are off. We're ready to go back green flag racing this time by when we take lap number 25 out of the 100 scheduled in the official race distance. We will be a quarter of the way through tonight's race. Excuse me. And already beginning to close in on stage number 2. Stage number 2 going to come to a completion at the end of lap number 40. So just a small brief little Saturday night shootout, if you will, here to the end of stage number 2. Who's going to walk away with that stage point? Your stage number 1 winner was the 99 of Austin Incarnago, and he will start right there. There you see him, third truck, I should say, in the outside lane. Let's see if that Office Depot Chevy Silverado can make his way back to the front of the field. And oh, Big Bubba's Chicken, look at that. The 22 of Randy Cornell, he's going to start on the outside lane, choosing to start from that outside lane. A little bit of an interesting move here. We'll have to wait and see how all that plays out. Jordan Westfall going to line up just to his inside. Justin Hardy and Steve Beckley make up row number 2. Then Chad Burns and Austin Incarnago will line up in row number 3. Chevy Silverado pace truck ready to duck on off. We're ready to go back racing once again, and green flag flies. We're back at it once again. Outside lane does not get going. The bottom 5, almost 6 trucks, now 7 make it clear before I believe that was Justin Hendry having some trouble getting going there on the restart. Ooh, my goodness, falling through the field right now too. Back down the back stretch, still side by side for a few positions, but it looks like most of these truck drivers very content and happy just to run the bottom, just to run single file right now. Go ahead and log these laps. Let's get a good chunk of this race under our belts and then go at it towards the end. I think that's the mentality most of these truck drivers have at this point in time, especially after the big one that we had earlier here tonight, and that has still found Bob Williams and Jeff Carson on pit road, still trying to fix their machines, and a few other drivers still with some trouble. Steve Beckley, he was on pit road for an extended stay that last time under the stage end caution. So we'll have to see how the speed shakes out there for Beckley. Looks like he's okay. Looks like he's actually running about 3 to 4 miles an hour slower than the rest of the field right now. So Beckley going to have a hard time if he should lose the draft. His best bet is to try to stay tucked up in between 2 trucks and utilize the push in the draft to his advantage. Now back off of turn number 4. Once again, your race leader, Randy Cornwell, brings the field back across the stripe, but Hendry on the outside said, no, sir, let me have that. He's going to take the lead, drop to the bottom, and oh boy, here comes those Incarnago boys. They're lined up, nose to tail on the outside lane, and we've seen it in stage number 1. Those two got out front and dominated the rest of the stage. Now looks like both of those truck drivers clear and dropping to the bottom. Your new race leader once again, that 94 of Alexander Incarnago. A little bit of a moment there for the 29, and I believe that was the 22 of Randy Cornwell that went up the track there. A little brief moment. These drivers all going to corral that. Now the 7 of Jordan Westfall, I apologize, moves in. And now we've got a side-by-side battle back 3-4 lanes deep as your top 2 runners, Alexander and Austin Incarnago, kind of step away from the field right here halfway down the back stretch, lap 28 out of the 100 scheduled in tonight's official race distance. Those Chevy Silverados leading the field right now. Then back to 4th, you can find a Ford F-150. And up the track goes the 7 of Westfall. He's looking to chase the lead. Not going to be able to do it. Not going to be able to get there just yet. Field, now big move to the outside by the 7 of Westfall as well as the 2 of Chad Burns. Man, I tell you what, Westfall and Burns, they're trying They're trying to get there. 11 laps remaining here in stage number 2 before we will find out who will get that extra bonus point. Still leading the field right now, though. Alexander Incarnago continues to be the Pied Piper of Daytona right now. The two machine sitting pretty right there. He's got some help behind him. He's got 2 trucks lined up behind him, but just not really pushing that 7 in front of him yet, and those drivers just not making any ground right now. We do have a few truck drivers trying to get up there and help that outside lane out, and just like that, you're back to drivers said, I've had enough, dropping back to the bottom. So Burns and Cornwell both go back to the bottom. That's gonna leave Westfall out there all by himself, just kind of hanging out. Now 2-3 trucks rejoin that outside lane, and I tell you what, race fans, it's kind of awkward to see right now, that outside lane just not being able to get the speed up, not being able to build the momentum up over the course of 2 or 3 laps. Yeah, you may fall back just a truck or so, but that outside lane just not moving forward at all. The 22 of Randy Cornwell, he jumps back down to the bottom, now back to the top, heading back down into turn number 3, and I think that may be hurting the run on the outside just a little bit more than it's actually helping, as each time that 22 truck jumps from the top to the bottom, from the bottom to the top, it does disturb the air just a little bit more than usual. And now that outside lane starting to inch. Oh, big push, and a 13 goes up into the wall. The 22 of Cornwell with a push and getting the rear end upset. Jeff Culver going up and making slight contact with the outside wall. That's going to leave the 7 of Jordan Westfall right there to push the 22 back through the tri-oval and down into turn number 1. Alexander still leading this race. Austin Incarnago right there in 3rd. Justin Hendry 4th place. Jerry Hutchison and in 5th as they run the 24 of Steve Corporal. Not a lot of action at the very front of the field, but now slowly and surely 3 trucks starting to make their way up there to the 4th place truck now. Multiple drivers going to join that outside lane, and here the 3rd car back. He's going to jump to the outside. He's going to see what he can do with a little bit of help from his friends, not being able to do anything just yet. Now ducking back out. Once again, big run on the outside coming. The 8 is there, but will it be in time? Not going to be there in time to turn 3. We still have a side-by-side race battle for the 2nd position now, as the outside lane lost a little bit of ground. And Hendry, man, he is doing everything he can. Looking at the scoring charts right now, upwards of 185 miles an hour. And back down into turn number 1 and 2, still leading the field, the 94 of Alex Incarnago right there in 2nd. Alexander 3rd is Hutchinson, 4th Corporal. In 5th, Justin Hendry. Your top 3 have broken away from the field, and when I say broken away from the field, I mean it's Daytona, so you're not really going to get out there, but your front 3, a good, I would say, truck length or so in front of the rest of the competition. Now 4 trucks make it 5, 6, 7. Make up the outside lane. They're trying to get the momentum there. Will Austin duck out and leave Alexander hanging to dry on the inside? We'll have to wait and see how all that plays out over the course of the next 5 laps. 5 laps remaining here in stage number 2 in the WallBanger Racing Truck Series. Now that outside lane moving and inching closer and closer to the front of the field. 5 laps now remaining here in stage number 2. Inside lane now being bullied and challenged on the outside. The 28 has been, and up into the walls. The 13 again scraping. More contact. Other drivers making moves. Oh my goodness, that could have went very wrong very quick. All the drivers, though, hats off to each of them for being able to make it through that without any issues, any contact, or anything of that nature. Field still side by side at the front. 3, 4, 5, 7, 12 car battle at the front of the field for the race lead. And man, oh man, I tell you what, coming right at you into the screen here. And I tell you what, why don't we, as we inch closer here to the end of stage number 1, why don't we go ahead and, mute the mics, shut up, and head down trackside for a little bit of Turn It Up. And caution flag flies. We've got trouble once again here at Daytona International Super Speedway. Looks like Culver and Holdcroft caught up in this latest incident here. We'll take a look back, see what happened here on the Turn 3 replay. And not seeing it there, so it looks like it may have been a little bit further back in the field when it all happened and how it all took place. Oh yeah, there you see some smoke from behind. Oh, there's the 13 going around. Oh my gosh, and the 14, more hard impact. The 2 caught up, the 26 caught up as well. My goodness. Tough break for a few drivers out there. But Alex Encarnago, looks like he's gonna walk away with a stage win here as well. So Alexander and Austin both securing stage wins early here in the season. That's going to put some points in those drivers' back pockets. Field back under caution here for the end of stage number 2. Excuse me. Austin Encarnago going to finish stage number 2 in second. Third place, Jerry Hutchinson. Garrett Davis right there inside the top 5 now in 4th spot. 5th to Justin Hendry. And what a big move by both of these drivers in 3rd and 4th. Both of those drivers making up 19 positions over the course of that run. Up 15 spots is Brandon Regal. And a few of those obviously have to do with some of that wreck, but, well, you got to put yourself in a place to capitalize when something like that goes down. And a few drivers absolutely doing so. So coming to pit road is your race leader, your Stage 2 winner, Alexander Incarnago. And with that being said, race fans, we're going to step away for a brief commercial break. You know what it is. You know how I like to promote my girls. So, why don't we go ahead and do that? We'll be right back. Back at the track as green flag flies once again here at Daytona International Super Speedway to begin your third and final stage. Your Stage 1 winner sitting right now in second. Stage 2 winner Alexander Incarnago sitting right there in the first position, continuing to lead the field. And we see a long train of single file once again down there hugging that double yellow line. And I believe we may find ourselves with a little bit of green flag pit stops here in this final segment. Nobody going to be able to make it 60 laps on a tank of fuel, so look for these drivers all to have to hit pit road at least once, maybe twice, before the end of tonight's race. And after that latest caution towards the end of stage number 2, we have found ourselves with a few drivers back behind the wall. Jeff Carson, Bob Williams, Stephen Beckley, and it looks like Jerry Culver also back behind the wall right now. So that leaves us with 20 drivers on the lead lap. 22 drivers still out there on the track making laps right now as Alexander continues to lead the field. 2 trucks trying to make something happen towards the back. I say towards the back, but that's about 6th and 7th place right now on track. And they're trying to get something going, but nothing's really happening right now. Do have another duo back behind them, and I just don't think the 2-truck tandem draft is going to work here tonight with this long train of cars down there on the inside lane being led by both of those Encarnago brothers. They've pretty much handled the field the entire night here so far. Nobody else really leading at all. And now 3-4 trucks break together on the outside, slowly making some gains. Now up to the 4th truck in line on the inside lane, making gains on the 3rd one. Can they get a big enough push? Can they get enough drive off the corner and keep the momentum up to get up there and battle side by side for the race lead? We'll have to wait and see if that 28 truck can get up there and get the job done. Justin Hendry, he's been on that outside lane trying to make it work multiple times here tonight. And a big wiggle there that last time into turn number 3 for the 36 machine. That 36 a little bit out of shape going into the corner. Brandon having a little bit of a moment, having to catch the car. And now 5 trucks on the outside. This is going to get a little bit interesting as there's a gap between Randy Cornwell and Chad Burns. A little bit of a gap back between those 2 drivers. That's going to start to close now. Oh, as the 13 truck right up next to that outside wall lap car going down yet one more lap here tonight at Talladega Super Speedway. Good job by the whole front of the field making their way by that lap machine, and nobody's doing anything with the front of the field. And now it looks like we've got a 2-truck breakaway going on here. Haven't seen a 2-truck tandem being able to pull away from the field, but now Austin Encarnago pushing on Alexander, and they have got a 3-truck race lead over the 3 machine of Trevor Massetti, sitting right there in 3rd. Chad Bessinger in 4th. Brendan Regal right there in 5th on that outside lane, trying to make that work now. Slowly but surely, both of these lanes slowly starting to catch in with your top 2 drivers, and they got to be careful about getting too far out there in front of the field, because when the run does come, it's going to come fast and it's going to come big, and I don't think that either of these 2 truck drivers are going to be able to stop it once it does get there. Now the 36 jumping to the outside lane. He's going to lead that outside pack. Knocking on the door of the halfway point here in tonight's Daytona 100 and WallBangers Racing Truck Series, live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Do want to take a brief moment to say thank you to each and every one of you joining us here tonight on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Without you, there'd be no us. So big shout out to each and every one of you for stopping by here tonight. Whether you're the fan, friend, or family out there joining us, we do appreciate you tuning in each and every time you do. And if you haven't already, throw these truck drivers a thumbs up. Click subscribe, smash the bell over there on the right-hand side, get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, whether it's myself, Darkside Dave in the Cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 headquarters. We do appreciate each and every time you stop by, and we look forward to you stopping by some more throughout the week. Some great racing action lined up for you all throughout the week. And oh, big move by the 7 truck. Elevator dropping from the top to the bottom. He's going to move around that 36 machine, and nothing really going on at the front of the field. There you see it, that 2-truck tandem. They still have a 2 to 3 truck race lead over the 3 of Trevor Massetti, and I wonder if Massetti and maybe Bessinger maybe playing a little possum right here, maybe backing the field up a little bit, letting those 2 truck drivers break away a little bit, break the air, and look for that 3 of Massetti to maybe try to get a big run here in the next few laps and try to do away with that. Man, that's a dynamic duo at the front. I'm not trying to be smart or funny, no Batman puns, things of that nature, but these two right here have been on their A game since the drop of the green flag, not just here tonight in the race, but in qualifying as well as in happy hour. Both of the Encarnagos were up there on the speed charts in happy hour, right there, first and second in qualifying. And well, guess who won stage 1 and 2? The drivers sitting in a 1 and 2. However, the 99 of Austin Encarnago did take the stage win in stage number 1. Alexander grabbing the win in stage number 2. Side-by-side race battle back here between the 22 of Rendell Cornell. He's got Jordan Westall right there with him as well. Westfall, I apologize, Jordan. Got Jordan Westfall right there with him. The 23 lined up on the inside, trying to make it work as they go back around the lap machine. And hard contact with the outside wall. Almost a big-time moment there for your race leaders. Oh, my goodness. Ryan Ezell goes around and back on the track. Backwards on the track right now. Looks like he's going to get out of the car before there's a caution. And Ryan Ezell going to go to pit road as we stay green flag racing here, still on lap 52 out of the 100 scheduled in the official race distance. And it looked like that was actually Stephen Beckley involved in that incident with Ryan Ezell. So both of those drivers really going to be hurting after this one, unless they can actually catch one of those cautions a little bit later here tonight. They're going to need it after falling victim to a little bit of a race incident. No caution flag flying. No, that's going to put them a little bit further behind the 8 ball. Ryan Ezell being able to make it to pit road, bring his truck down for service, trying to get some of the fenders beat back out. We've got 19 drivers still on the lead lap right now, being led by the Encarnago crew, lined up on that inside lane. But here comes Cornwell on the outside. He's got Westfall right behind him. And man, I tell you, that 7, he has got no problem with pushing right now. And for the first time, we have seen a crew push that outside lane around the inside lane. And just like that, the run goes away and deteriorates right before our eyes. Cornwell now back to third. Will he stay there or will he drop down? No, going to stay there. Not going to leave the man that almost had him to the front of the field behind just yet. These drivers going to continue their way around the track through 1 and 2, back down towards the back stretch, this time by lap 54 out of the 100 scheduled in the official race distance. And we are over halfway now. The witching hour is upon us. Who is going to make their moves to the front? Who has got what it takes? Oh, big move, and the 3 goes around right in front of the field. Oh my, this is the big one. Trevor Massetti goes sideways and around in front of the field, and that could have been a lot worse than what it was. Ooh, that could have been very close as well. Few drivers caught up in this one, and we'll take a look back here. There you see the 3 out of shape, back down across the 22's nose, and carnage and chaos ensues from that moment on. And hey, I mean, luckily for a lot of drivers, they were able to get by all of that. But unfortunately, it looks like Chris Claude was involved. There you see him just trying to stay out of everything, and a little bit of contact right there. And there you see smoking is that 3 of Massetti, just trying to get back down to pit road. And it looks like the engine expiring on the 57 of Zach Sandlin. Looks like he's going to go ahead and tow it back to pit road. So Massetti trying to make his way back to pit road, try to get that thing fixed up as best as he can. And surprisingly, drivers are going to come to pit road this time by just 15 laps after they've been on pit road. And I wonder how close is the fuel window to opening up, because everybody gonna come to pit road this time by. Looks like the 11 gonna stay out on track, and I believe that may be a maneuver to try to get a lap led. We'll have to wait and see how all that goes, but for just a brief moment, we're gonna step away from the track, hit a quick, brief commercial break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with all your green flag action here from Daytona International Super Speedway. And just as promised, back trackside once again, field makes their way off of turn number 2, heading down the back stretch. Chevy Silverado pace truck lights are off. We're ready to go back. Green flag racing this time by Chris Claude, staying out on the track, assuming the race lead. Very interesting little gamble here by that the Toyota Tundra Sprite 11 machine being piloted by Chris Claude, staying out on track last time on the pit road at lap number 40. Got a little bit older tires than the rest of the guys around him, but we all know how the draft is the great equalizer. We'll have to wait and see how it all shakes out. Pace truck gonna duck off this time by. We're set to go back. Green flag racing once again here at Daytona International Speedway, and on the loud pedal, and away we go. Once again, the 11 with a great start, and Alexander forcing his way down in front of Austin in that 99, and that's gonna let the 7 of Jordan Westfall slot in right there. Third truck on the bottom lane, in the outside lane once again does not get moving now. Encarnago looking to the outside. Here comes Austin with him, and it looks like those two boys, well, they don't want no part of the rest of the field. They want to be hooked up and pushing on each other here as we're going to come around under the next few laps. Take 60 to go. Lap 58 underway right now, 59 when we cross the line this time by. And how racy are these truck drivers willing to be, knowing that we've had two big ones so far here tonight involving multiple drivers? Zach Sandlin, Jerry Culver, Ryan Izell, looks like Daniel Holdcroft Steve Beckley, Bob Williams, Jeff Carson, all involved and out of the race after their incidents. So a tough break for a few of those drivers here in the season opener for the WallBangers Racing Truck Series, live here on Turn 3 Racing Network from Daytona International Super Speedway. You're watching the Daytona 100. Good look on the 11 right now. Crew chief looking like he's the smartest one out of them all. Not coming to pit road, not taking any fuel or tires just yet, and that 11 has been able to hold his own. He's got a very fast, dynamic duo to his outside. The Encarnago boys right there on the outside lane, nose to tail. Trying to get enough momentum up to pass the inside lane, not being able to get by that 11 just yet. That Sprite machine, man, I'm telling you, it is looking strong. That Tundra is running nice right now at the front of the field. He's got he's got Jordan Westfall, Alex Alexander sitting right to the outside, and looks like he's slowly inching there, not gonna make it at the line. Whew, that was almost a photo finish to see who would lead that lap. And I tell you what, we done it a little bit earlier in the night. Let's go ahead and do it. And contact there between Austin and Jordan. Ooh, that 99 and the 7 machine getting very close to one each other, making a slight bit of contact. None worse for the wear right now. They continue back down the backstretch. And as I was saying, we visited it a little bit earlier in the night. Why don't we go ahead, mute the mics once again, and head down trackside for a little Turn It Up. Absolutely love all the sights and sounds here from Daytona International Super Speedway. If you like what you see, head on down in the description. Click on the box, head on over there to Esteban. He can hook you up with all the great tracks and all the great cameras you see here on the track, as well as these trucks Esteban providing all the camera work here for us at Turn 3 Racing Network. Big shout out to him for everything that he does behind the scenes for us. Can't find a better camera provider out there. So head on down in the description. Click the link below. And oh, my, don't I feel dumb. And as mentioned earlier in the broadcast, out at a wrestling tournament pretty much all day from left the house at about 5:30 this morning. And literally got home 15 minutes before time for green flag racing. So, I do apologize. Description not in there this week. We will have all that sorted out and in there for you next week. So do want to apologize about the misleading information about head on down there in the description, but we will get that to you next week. That is absolutely for sure. But right now, task at hand, front of the field, side by side, as Alexander. Oh, and caution flag flies, lap 66. What has happened here? Stephen Baldwin Jr. looks like he may have been involved in this latest one. There you see his truck going down the banking. Oh, and it looks like a little bit of trouble with one truck having some connection issues, looks like that was. Yeah, there you see the little bit of a blink, and then boom, the 59 goes right around. No harm, no foul. Really, no damage on that 59 machine, but he's going to be able to get it righted and head back up, catch up to the field. And, you know, none worse for the wear, really. Going to have some older tires now with some pretty significant tire wear after those 360s and slides. But still, it's better than having a torn-up machine at this point in time. Lap 67 out of the 100 scheduled in the official race distance. These drivers knocking on the door of just 30 to go. And these last 30, man, they're going to click off very, very fast. Pit road is open this time by. Do we have any takers? This time by, as the field was on pit road about 10 to 12 laps ago. I have to wait and see if anybody's going to go ahead and come on down. Going to keep my eye especially on that 11. And oh, looks like he's going to go ahead and come to pit road this time by. And we've got a gambler. He's staying out. The 98 of Brian Fine right there, staying out on track. Justin Hendry as well as Zach Wilson. All three of those drivers going to stay out on track. Last to pit road on lap 55. So just about 12, 13 laps ago was when these drivers were on pit road. And apparently the crew chiefs think that the track position is more important at this point in time in the race, keeping their three truck drivers out there on track. And with that being said, we're going to step away for a brief commercial break. And when I say a brief commercial break, that's exactly what I mean. So don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back with all your green flag action live here from Daytona International Speedway.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Field working their way down the backstretch yet again under caution here tonight at Daytona International Super Speedway for the Daytona 100, the WallBangers Racing Truck Series. This is race number 1. How you doing? How you feeling, race fans? We've still got 31 laps to go when we take the green flag this time by. And man, oh man, I tell you what, it has been a night of excitement to say the least. Saturday night, trucks under the lights at Daytona International Super Speedway. What more could you ask for? As the Chevy Silverado pace truck going to make that left-hand turn one more time here tonight. Field in the hands of your race leader, the 98 of Brian Fine. Justin Hendry starting to his outside, then Alexander Encarnago will start second car outside row. And oh, there you go, dropping down to the bottom is Fine. He gets a great jump on the field, but the man you got to be careful of, here comes that 94. No caution. Flag flies once again here at Daytona International Super Speedway. Ooh, let's see what happened here. And oh, the 13 goes around and hard into that outside wall. Kovler hard into that outside wall. We'll look at that one more time. And unfortunately, the camera's not catching it that time. Very, very interesting. We'll look one more time here. There you see the contact and hard into that outside wall. And that is going to be trouble for sure for the man on screen, the 13 machine. He has seen some better days, sitting in the 19th spot right now. But after hard impact, I can assure you he's going to have to bring that machine to pit road, get a little bit of a damage repair going on. A 13 caught up in a few incidents here tonight, but the truck is still out there running, still trying to make as many points as he can here tonight. As long as he can keep minimum speed, he'll be able to keep making the laps out there, and that's what it's all about. It's not always about the race wins. I misquoted my own self. Top 8. Top 8? Oh, Lord. Let me get the notes out and let me make sure about all this before I go sounding all wrong and things like that. You know, it's never good to be wrong. And it looks like the top 2 drivers are gonna come to pit road. Alexander Encarnago looks like he's gonna stay out on track, as well as Jordan Westfall. So both of those drivers will assume the top spots on the track when we go back green flag racing here in just a few moments. And yes, just like that, double checking through everything, win and you're in. So we will have one driver already put themselves in the chase here tonight with the win. The stage wins bringing you 1 playoff point. The race win going to bring you 5, and who's going to put it in their back pocket here tonight? The 94, that's going to lead the field back to green flag. Took the pole here tonight, took a stage win tonight. Can he make it a race, a win as well? Or will the 7, Jordan Westfall, right behind him, have something to say about it? Still a very long way to go for these drivers before we'll find out who will be your race winner. Still right at about 28 laps remaining when we cross the line this time by. So still a very long night of racing ahead of these drivers. Field gets the 1 to go. Chevy Silverado pace truck lights go out. We're set to go back. Green flag racing this time by. Field making their way double file down the back stretch. Who's got what it takes to get to the front of the field? We'll have to wait and see. Not a lot of laps remaining to find out who's going to make their way into the chase here in race number 1 in the WallBangers Racing Truck Series. It's the Daytona 100 live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Do want to send a big shout out to each and every one of you joining us out there on the YouTube side of things here tonight. Whether you're the fan, friend, or family, or just a casual stopper buyer, we do appreciate each and every one of you stopping by, joining us for the brief time that you do, or stay for the whole race. Hey, we don't mind at all. Pace truck ready to duck off. Once again, we'll get set to fire it off one more time here from Daytona International Superspeedway field to the restart box, and on the pedal, and away we go. The Encarnago brothers hooked up on the inside, and off they go, leaving a big gap behind them. That's going to let the 22 of Randy Cornwell slide down on the inside lane, and it looks like the 7 may be trying to do the same thing. Westfall, there you go. He's going to slot in just behind that 94, and your top 4 all nose to tail now down the back stretch. And oh, Westfall, he's not going to stay back there very long. He's going to challenge for the race lead. Now that outside lane slowly losing some ground, and the battle for the race lead goes away just like that. Long train of cars down on the inside lane. Only 3 now make it 5, 6, 7 cars. Mass exodus there from the bottom up to that top lane. Now we've got more drivers dropping down to the bottom, so a little bit of musical lines, if you will, here from Daytona International Superspeedway. And once again, we're seeing those 2 Encarnago brothers kind of distance themselves from the field. I gotta question the tactic here, getting a half a second lead over a fast, hungry, big pack of race trucks. Long train of trucks down there on the inside lane. Only 3 trucks on the outside. 1 more truck jumping out there to make it 4. And I wonder if we're seeing this as a as maybe a precaution to some green flag pit stops. Most of these drivers on the pit lane on lap 67. Not sure if that's going to be enough fuel to get these drivers to the end. Some of these drivers hitting pit road on lap 71. So they have a little bit of a buffer on the rest of the field, about a 5-lap buffer. But I wonder if that is going to be enough in the tank to get these drivers to the end. We'll have to wait and see how it all shakes out. 24 laps remaining here in tonight's Daytona 100 for the WallBangers Racing Truck Series. Race number 1 here this season on the Turn 3 Racing Network. And man, it has been a crazy ride for a lot of drivers out there. Front of the field has been kind of calm after the first big one that happened early in the night around lap number 11. Since then, field kind of calming down just a little bit. Seems like we have a few more drivers content to just log a handful of laps at a time before trying to move. And there you see that long train of trucks, only 3 trucks out on the outside lane, and they are stuck. Oh, looks like the 11, he has an issue. He goes off track. Down through the apron and off the racing surface. Track officials keep it green flag. And we have got ourselves a run to the finish. 23 laps remaining here in the official race distance. 100 laps scheduled here tonight from Daytona International Superspeedway in the Daytona 100. Here in the WallBangers Racing Truck Series, still under green flag. We've had 5 separate cautions here tonight, as well as our 2 stage end cautions. 7 cautions total here tonight. And I tell you what, if you're a race fan and you watch these style races, that is a pretty low number on the caution count. So big shout out and hats off to each and every one of these truck series drivers out there going and laying it all out on the line, full throttle, lap after lap here tonight, closing in on the lap number 80 mark. 22 laps to go out of the 100 scheduled in tonight's official race distance. Field coming back through the tri-oval, still being led by that 94 machine of Alexander Encarnago. Close on the rear bumper of Austin, though. Here comes Jordan Westfall. He's kind of separated himself from the pack behind him. We've got 16 drivers right here in this lead pack. Make that 15 drivers right here in the lead pack. And, man, it is still anybody's game at this point in time. We see a single file run, then we've got double file back after that. Looks like the 7 of Jordan Westfall. Maybe, I don't want to say... I would like to listen to some race chatter, but you never know what... Oh, my goodness. Big moment there for the field, getting all sorts of out of shape. Oh my goodness. The 2 of Craig Burns, he dropped from the top and down onto the bottom, and it looked like that caused some chaos there for just a brief moment as the field crossed the line and back into turn number 1, now making their way off the backstretch. Your top 2 drivers, the Encarnago brothers, they have set sail once again, have themselves just about another half a second race lead as we get closer and closer to the final few laps here tonight. And as I was saying, would love to bring some race control and race chatter, but you just never know what you might catch. And some things we just don't want to catch her here. So, yeah, we let the race chatter stay between the racers. And Pablo Escobar, how about it, homie? Out there, great broadcast. Appreciate the thumbs up. Appreciate the comments there. I know these drivers appreciate it because they're making my job easy right now. In the field has caught back up to those Encarnago brothers. Now 3-4 cars jump to the outside trying to team up on that 94 and 99, and that, I believe, is what it's going to take. It's going to take some numbers if they're going to get by those 2 very, very fast Chevy Silverados. Both of those drivers have pretty much been up inside the top 5 the entire race. Oh, almost contact there between the 24, and I believe that was the 59. Almost making contact there last time by off of turn number 4. Only 18 laps remaining as the field makes their way off of turn number 2. Once again, back down the backstretch 2. Now 3 truck race length over the field. The 59 of Stephen Baldwin Jr. trying to get up there to the top side. Now take over the lead of that outside lane. Can he get the momentum going and get that line back at the front? Looks like they're going to fall back for a brief moment. The 12 of a Jerry Hutchison, where'd he come from? He's had a pretty uneventful and quiet night, but finds himself right here in striking distance towards the end of tonight's race, running in the 3rd spot. And I tell you what, it looks like he is actually going to be listed as our biggest mover of the race right now, up 19 positions from where he started tonight's race, right there holding on to that 3rd and final podium position. And that is something that these drivers have got to be thinking in the back of their minds. They got to be looking at the water temp. They've got to be looking at the oil temp. They've got to be looking at that fuel pressure gauge, because some of these drivers may be cutting it very, very close. Looking at the fuel mileage game here tonight, can we see some fuel strategy unfold? And if drivers do have to pit road, is it a 2-tire and a splash, or is it a splash and go? We'll have to wait and see how that all pans out. Outside row not going anywhere just yet. Inside row still being led by Alexander Encarnago as he leads the field for yet another 10 laps or so here over the course of the last 5 minutes. And man, I tell you what, Alexander and Austin, man, they have got this super speedway racing figured out, because the field catches them and then they kind of just blast away for a lap or two, and then the field catches them and they blast away again. So a little cat and mouse, a little bit of games being played out there on the racetrack right now. Who's got enough to make it to the end? Who's going to have to stop for some more gas? We'll have to wait and see how it all shakes out, how it all pans out here. Excuse me, sorry about that. Thought we had most of the throat troubles cleared out after some earlier incidents with it, but now that 23 of Chad Bessinger looks to jump to the outside as well. Not going to do it this time by. He's going to stay right there. 3rd car inside lane. He's going to let that 2 of Craig Burns continue to push the field. Now Randy Cornwell jumping to the outside to lead that outside lane. 3 trucks lined up nose to tail, but they are no match for the 5. Oh, Lord. Oh, sorry. Yawning right there. Wow. 5 drivers lined up on the inside lane, and it looks like that outside lane just not going to go anywhere. And something I'm not really accustomed to seeing here at Daytona International Superspeedway, and that's that outside run just kind of disappearing. I mean, they get lined up, they get moving and motoring towards the front, and then it just kind of dies out, disappears for a handful of laps again, as now Bessinger, he jumps out to the outside. He's going to try his hand at taking over the lead of the race. 2-3 wide for a brief moment, heading into turn number 1, still down on the bottom, hugging that double yellow line is that 94 of Alexander Encarnago. Just behind him, the 99 of Austin Encarnago. Now I believe, if I'm not mistaken, yes, there you see the 21 of the 21 of Chad Bessinger jumping back down to the bottom. That's going to leave now just 2 trucks on that outside lane. 12 laps remaining. Nobody really making a move just yet. but when's it gonna come? You gotta know how much time you need to get to the front. Look for a few of these drivers to make some calculated moves to try to push their way to the front here. And now there you see it run coming from that 23 machine. I apologize. Bessinger looks like he's trying exactly what I was alluding to, looking like he's trying to time the run, trying to see how many laps it's going to take to get there, but he is going to need some help no matter how it goes. 3 cars, just no match for the massive line lined up on the inside lane. We've got 14 drivers all lined up right here, nose to tail. So it is going to be very hard to walk away with a race win here from such a demanding track. A lot of drivers or a lot of people think that the racing at Daytona, Talladega, very super easy. You just put your foot on the gas and go. There's a lot of lifting, a lot of knowing how to push, a lot of knowing how to set your car to keep the cool air to the engine so the engine doesn't pop. So not as easy of a race as most people would think, but Daytona International Superspeedway always lends its hand to some great racing action, and we've got 10 laps remaining, 9 to go when we cross the line. This time by, can Alexander keep the field behind him, or will Austin Encarnago, will he try to make a move to steal the race win away towards the end, maybe the last lap or two? We'll have to wait and see how it all shakes out, but these drivers just not going anywhere. We've got them trying to make some moves on the outside, but nobody willing to jump out there with that outside lane just yet. As your race leader begins to catch up to back markers, once again, they're going to dispose of the lap machine without any problems. Everybody down on the outside now looking to go too wide. Is that 22 of Cornwell as well as Westfall? Both of those drivers have made moves to the front of the field by hooking up with each other. They've got another 2 trucks in line, so that's 4. Nose to tail, and now you can see the momentum beginning to build. You can see the ground beginning to change. No, and just like that, 2 more drivers dropped from the bottom. 3 jumped out there, 2 jumped back, and that is all she wrote. That outside run gonna kind of fizzle on out, and that's gonna leave that 7 of Jordan Westfall, well, no pun intended, my man, falling through the field. And the 23 and the 18, they got to be careful here. They're leaving a lot of room when things get truly dicey. You may see one of these truck drivers brave enough to stick the front end into the hole and try to force their way into maybe a situation they shouldn't be in. But when the race win is on the line, I believe any move is a fair move. As the field makes their way down the backstretch, just 7 laps remaining from this 2.5-mile famed oval track here at Daytona International Superspeedway. Who's going to put the check mark next to their name and slot themselves into the chase here in the WallBangers Racing Truck Series? Man, I tell you what, it has been one heck of a race, one heck of a night for us here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. And 6 laps remaining here from Daytona International Superspeedway. And again, I'm going to repeat this. I'm kind of surprised nobody jumping out there to try to challenge those top two drivers. Craig Burns looks content to just stay right there in third, but will Steve Corporal come up there and be able to possibly steal a race win away here? It's going to take some doing. It's going to take some numbers. I'm not sure if these truck drivers continue to let these laps whittle on down. I believe they're going to find themselves in a little bit rougher of a position. Five laps to go as the field makes their way down the backstretch. No change at the front of the field, but it looks like the 25 maybe, just maybe, trying to create a little bit of a gap here. We've seen that happen earlier in tonight's race, where one truck kind of stayed off the field for a second and then got a massive run. We'll wait and see if the 23 machine pulls that off. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to, as the outside lane falls apart even more with 4 laps remaining in the Daytona 100 here in the WallBangers Racing Truck Series. Oh, and it looks like we've got drivers blowing up, going around, big time wreck. Massive pile up at the back of the field. I say massive pile up, but I believe it only caught up about 3 or 4 drivers, but 3 or 4 drivers is a big deal at this point in time. Garrett Davison, 69, involved. There you see that pink machine smoking. The 12 also involved. Jerry Hutchinson, Jordan Westfall, Scott Taylor, Randy Cornwell, all involved in this one. Let's take a look back, see what happened with our Turn 3 replay. Oh, and it looks like drivers just getting spun around there. A little bit of pushing going on towards the end of the race. And, well, you can expect to see that. And around goes that 81 off of the nose of the 12. Here comes the 22 through. And, oh, my goodness. Hard pancake for that 22 truck. More drivers also meeting that inside retaining wall. And, well, race fans, just like that, we're back under caution here once again. Back at the front of the field as they make their way to the back of the Chevy Silverado base truck. We're going to step away for a brief commercial break, then head back trackside for all your green flag racing action here tonight. Looks like we're set to have ourselves a green, a white checkered, so don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back. Back track side once again. Pace truck lights are off. First attempt at an official green-white checkered here tonight at the WallBangers Racing Truck Series Daytona 100 pace car down and away. Green flag flies once again here at Daytona International Superspeedway. Alexander, oh my goodness, what a big push there by Craig Burns on the back of Austin Incarnago, as Alexander has kind of stepped away from the field, and he's going to have to be careful doing that. Don't want to get out there too far. Now help coming in the form of Austin Incarnago. He's going to slide in that second spot. Here comes a run on the outside lane. Now to the outside goes the two of Craig Burns. Drag race down the backstretch side by side for the race lead. First time anybody has battled that 94 on the outside. Can him in the 24 get the job done? Burns and Corporal on the outside trying to make the run. Not going to be there. Incarnago twins on the bottom making it happen. That inside lane surges forward. Popsicle sticks right now. White flag in the air. Final lap here at Daytona International Superspeedway. Next flag will end the race, and down on the inside lane. Oh, big wiggles from a lot of the field on the outside, and that's going to let the inside lane squirt away a little bit quicker. Here comes the 94 and the 99 off of turn number 2 down the backstretch. Has the field in tow. Oh, big push and big wiggle there out of the 23 machine. The 28 looks to the outside. Can Hendry do anything with the run? Not going to have it just yet. And Incarnago, boys, they're walking away sitting pretty right now. Winning the pole, winning stage 1, winning stage 2. Now walking away with the race win, the 94 of Alexander Incarnago. Man, oh man, what a race, what a night. The 94 of Alexander Incarnago has done what he set out to do, and that is start the season with a race win and pad the points lead, putting multiple playoff points in his back pocket already early in the season, and he's going to go ahead and celebrate this race win on the backstretch already. So with that being said, race fans, we're going to step away for a brief commercial break, get things set up for your post-race interview, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
North Carolina, where the field is rolling out for the start of today's 400-lap race on this. North Carolina, where the field is rolling out for the start of today's 400-lap race on this .625-mile racetrack. Here's the starting lineup. On the pole from Dawsonville, Georgia, in the number 9 Coors Ford qualifying and Winston Cup race from North Wilkesboro is underway. Everybody nicely through turns number 1 and 2 as Bill Elliott has the lead and Dale Earnhardt has jumped into second position, followed by Benny Parsons and Bobby Allison. Georgia, Bill Elliott.
And back trackside after another great race here on Turn 3 Racing Network. The WallBangers Racing Truck Series did not disappoint here tonight. And let's see if we can't catch in with a few. Let's see if we can't catch up with a few of the drivers, I should say, out there. Sorry, something in my eyeball. Ow. See if we can't catch up with a few of the drivers here in the post-race interviews. I tell you what, let's see if we can't grab a few words with the driver of that 23 machine. Let's see if we can't get and dial up the driver of that 23 machine. Chad, how you doing? It's Dave in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, my man, good race, good finish out there. Why don't you walk us through a little bit of your night and how the race went for you?
Man, I mean, it went good overall. I tried to stay behind Alex and Austin as long as I could and just try to stay clean. I don't know, first round of pit stops, I got shuffled back and got in trouble here and there, but my teammate, Robert Nestor, helped me, get back up towards the front.
Well, man, I coming towards the end of the race, it looked like we were going to have a longer green flag stint there towards the end, and then right there at the green-white checkered kind of attempts there, 4 laps to go, caution flag flies. From that point, what did you think your chances were at maybe walking away with a race win, or did you just think maybe you didn't have the truck?
Well, I didn't think at that point I lost my teammate in that caution. Didn't have him right behind me anymore, so I was kind of hoping to just come out with where I did actually.
All right, well, my man, a great race out there for you and the entire 23 crew. Excuse me. Hats off with a great finish to the start of the season. And hopefully we can make some more of these podium appearances later on throughout the year. But once again, Chad, man, congratulations on a great finish here tonight, walking away in the 3rd spot. Before we let you go and enjoy the rest of the evening, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody on the side of the truck?
Oh, just my teammates, Chris, Jeff, and Robert for working together and getting going. Good start for the season. Thank you.
All right, well, there you have it. Some few final words from the driver finishing in the 2nd position, in the 3rd position here tonight. Now we'll move to the driver that finished in 2nd. Let's see if we can't catch in a word or two with the driver of that 99 machine. Austin, is Dave in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Hey, my man. Well, first and foremost, I want to say your last name.
Encarnacio.
Narcio. Okay, well, I completely flubbed that the entire night, just so you know. But now it's Encarnacio, so now I know what it is. I'll get it right for the rest of the night, rest of the races throughout the season. But man, you and your brother,
Yes, my brother.
put on one heck of a show. Pole, both stage wins, race win. Are you happy with the 2nd, or would you have liked to walk away with the race win?
I was happy about it, but before I start, I want to say sorry to Craig at the restart. I know I wasn't clear, but I'm sorry to Craig if he's watching this. Anyway, I'm happy with 2nd. I was just gonna help him the whole time. Basically, when he was ahead of me, he was starting to run low on fuel at the end, so it was gonna get scary. But he ended up making it. I was just gonna follow him and hopefully get 2nd, which I did.
All right. Well, sitting up here in the booth, I've got an vantage point to see some certain things, and it looked like you guys may have had some things worked out on restarts there. You two were lining up very quick and kind of stepping away from the field. So was that something that you and your brother kind of worked on or had planned prior to this to the race tonight?
We had it planned, as we were coming in, as we were coming to the restarts, we had it planned what we were going to do, and it worked out most times.
That it did for sure. As I said, you two basically dominating the entire night. You walking away with a stage win, so you're going to have some extra bonus, some extra playoff points in your pocket when we get to that point. So, Austin, man, congratulations. Great finish for you and the 99 crew here tonight. Before I let you go, you want to give any more shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, forget anybody on the side of the car?
I love you, Alex, for helping, for leading and guiding the way. And I'm sorry to Craig Burns. And yeah.
All right, there you have it. Final words from the driver finishing in second here tonight. Austin doing a fine job out there all night long. And now it's time for the man of the hour, your race winner, the driver of the 94 machine, Alexander's Dave in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey, man, first place, you got the pole, you got a stage win, you got the race win. That's one way to begin the season, man. Heck of a job.
Yeah, that was a good start. I was really hoping for a win.
Well, I spoke to your brother there just a minute ago, and he said, you guys kind of figured out what you were going to do on the restarts, coming to the restarts. You two got lined up and kind of took off from the field multiple times here tonight. Was there anything worked out for that final restart, or was it kind of an all for themselves kind of deal?
I gotta say, my little brother's badass for sticking with me, and pushing me to the finish. We both agreed whoever's in the lead last 5 laps is gonna win that race. We did work out things every restart. He was more into making the plan. And I told him everyone has a plan till the flag drops. You know, you never know what's going to happen. He kept chopping down on the triover pretty early, and I was warning him. I was like, be careful. So sorry to Craig, who got some contact there. Definitely don't want that.
Well, Alexander, I mean, with a win and you're in, does this mean you get to relax at all, or are you going to just move forward from this point on and just try to really hammer down on the field and just make everybody points race themselves into the chase?
Atlanta's my best track, and it's next week. I was up till 2 in the morning last night making that setup. So I'm definitely not going to hammer down. Not hammer down. I'm gonna go for it all. I want to get multiple wins. I'm not going to miss any races, nothing like that.
All right, my man. Well, it was a pleasure watching you this evening. As I said, you were fast and happy hour, fast there, taking the pole here tonight, taking the win in stage number 2, and then walking away with the race win. So big congratulations for a great race night here for you and the whole 94 crew. Before we let you go and enjoy the win, though, Alexander, you want to give any more shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody on the side of the truck?
Of course, thank my little brother, Austin, for pushing me that entire time. And he hasn't been iRacing very long. It's been like 6-7 months. So to see him make this much progress, it's cool.
Heck yeah. Well, my man, enjoy the race win, and we'll try to catch up with you in Atlanta next week.
Thanks, Dave.
All right, there you
get Ryan this race, so hey.
Wrong. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. Oh. All right, well, a little bit of communications and technical issues here tonight for the Turn 3 Racing Network. See, that's what you call pushing the wrong button. And when you push the wrong button, bad things happen. So do apologize about that right there towards the end. But a great race night once again here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Alex Encarnacio walking away with multiple bonus points for the playoffs this time. And, man, he said he was ready to go at Atlanta, so the field better take notice. They better go ahead and start getting them dynos and things like that worked out to get as much as they can out of the race car, because I tell you what, Alexander looks like he is not coming to play around whatsoever. What another great race night here at Daytona. Oh, and it looks like producers hitting the music on us. That means they're ready for things to get wrapped up here tonight at the Turn 3 Racing Network. Live from Daytona International Super Speedway. My goodness, what a great race it was here tonight. The Daytona 100 in the WallBangers Truck Series. Man, oh man. Well, with all that being said, I guess there's only a few things left to do, so let's go ahead and run down your unofficial race results here for race number 1, the Daytona 100. Walking away with the race win, the 94 of Alexander Encarnacio. And in second, his little brother Austin walking away with a stage win to his name as well, was right there towards the end. Not enough to knock Big Brother off of the podium spot, though. Off of that top spot, Chad Bessinger gonna slot in the third spot in his 23 machine. Walking away in fourth is Justin Hedry. Robert Nestor right there in fourth. In fifth, I should say sixth, is Zach Wilson. Brian Fine gonna come home in seventh. Eighth place goes to Craig Burns. Garrett Davis gonna slot home in ninth. Steve Corporal will be in 10th. 11th place to Scott Taylor. Stephen Baldwin Jr. gonna walk away in 12th. Jerry Hutchinson in 13th. 14th to Zach Sandlin. Jordan Westfall gonna slot home in 15. 16 will be Trevor Massetti. 17th to Randy Cornwell. 18th to Chris Cald. 19th, Jerry Culver, and rounding out your top 20, Brandon Regal. Ryan Ezel, after trouble here tonight, gonna bring his number 5 machine home in the 21st spot. 22nd goes to Daniel Holdcroft. Stephen Beckley in 23rd. Bob Williams walks away in 24th. 25th spot to Jeff Carson, and that will round out the field for tonight's Daytona 100 live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network for the WallBangers Racing Truck Series. Want to give a big shout out to Race Control as well as Michael Sheffield for all they're doing behind the scenes, keeping the things straight down there on the track. My goodness, ladies and gentlemen, what a great race it was here tonight for the opener at Daytona International Speedway. Join us next Saturday night when these truck drivers hit the harsh track at Atlanta Motor Speedway. That track is known for eating up the racing tires, so look for a lot of fall off. Look for drivers slipping and sliding all night next week when we do hit hot Atlanta here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Thanks for joining us here once again tonight. I am Darkside Dave in the Cave here in the Turn 3 Racing Network booth. We do appreciate each and every one of you stopping by. If you haven't already, throw these drivers a thumbs up, click subscribe, smash the bell over there on the right-hand side. Get notified anytime we go live, whether it's myself or anybody else back at the Turn 3 Racing Network. We do appreciate you each and every time. With that being said, stay safe, stay loved. We'll see you again in Turn 3, my friend. Until then, well, see you.